So now we'll go briefly through 4 real life applications, use cases. Briefly, I'm not going to go so much detail, but we'll apply what we've talked about so far in 4 use cases. The number 1 case, we'll talk about how to monetize or engage audience through proper content marketing, what we call the content experience approach. And then we'll talk about how to empower the corporate knowledge management, or how to manage learning for your talent and employees, which is very important. And by the way, this same application about empowering and getting your employees to learn about things, it does help them make what we call the social selling. They can sell your product using social channels when they are empowered and informed. So this use case is double-phased. And then we have events like this one. How can we make it better? We'll talk about that later. And then using interactivity, action, maybe you should have had, really, I'll tell you now, maybe this could be another idea. Every one of you should have had an interactive iPad in front of them, and should have been able to ask me questions on the fly using their iPad. They don't have to talk. And should have been able to post polls right on the screen for you, and everyone answers. So you get results right on the spot on the screen. So it's very informative. You see trends, you see what's happening and what's not. You see if the colors that I'm wearing are good or whatever. Or Judith's, we could have tested Judith's chocolate and get a survey on it, right? So these kind of things, right? It's not, you cannot just stop there and try to establish a hashtag, and that's all you can do. And then finally, we'll talk about creation of content and how we can make it a little bit better. Look at this slide and read it for yourself. What if we could ensure that every piece of content produced has some value, has some objective? Think about it. Does it mean anything? Is it trying to do anything? Very simple. Does it tie into our business objective, our mission, our vision, our purpose? That's what we need to do. So, to do that, you have to have a system. I'll go through this really quickly because this is a lot of details, and it's not going to help if we go so deeply in this now, this context. As I mentioned, we'll be around an exhibition area, and if you have any personal questions, we can have individual discussions. What's happening today when people are creating content, they come up with ideas, brainstorm sessions, go around the office, what do you think, what do you that? Then they create a spreadsheet. We need to produce 1, 2, 3, 4, this, that, or pieces of content or documents. They share them internally with an agency, if an agency is working for them or freelancer. And then what? They produce the content. That's it. This content, they post it everywhere, on a website, on a blog, on social. Some of them will work, luckily enough, and some will not work. And that's it. Results are mixed at best. You never know, because this is not the right process. It happened in silos, it's lack transparency. This is a wasted budget. For audience, they have sporadic pieces and bits and pieces of content. They're not tying with each other, they're not telling a story. They don't know what's happening and what's truly the messages. How differently can this be done? Look at the very first part, which is the most important one. Look. That's the first part. That wasn't the previous slide. Right? That's the first part. You got to see what people are searching for, talking about, the trends that are boiling up, what's coming. And then strategize, understand, put a plan. Ideas, topics, who's doing what, which types of content, and so on. Then assign it. You have to have a strategy and workflow, documented. You have to have a documented brief, strategy, everything written so that everybody knows. And by the way, this can be done through a software platform. That's what we call the content experience platform. So everybody sees, whenever they are producing a piece of content, they see the persona. Who am I talking to? What their preferences are? What's the overall picture? Has to be tied in. Everybody sees it. And then this can be shared in terms of video, a piece of content, like a brief, a documented strategy. All teams are together, and content is produced in homogeneity, in uniformity, as a resonating story. All channels are working together. We call it omni-channel orchestration. Omni-channel orchestration. Everything is working together. They have to see each other. Then you have results. You will get results. They have a resonating story, things are tying up, there is a relationship and interactivity. The next use case is about how we can enhance the learning process in a corporation. This is a very important topic, by the way. If you heard the term social selling, it's now a buzz. You cannot be cold calling customers anymore. Even the ways of you doing it online through what they call it performance marketing, ECRM, these things, annoying, to say the least. Right? And you're interrupting your customer, getting in their way. The only really natural way now is to become a thought leader, is to become, your whole organization is a thought leader, and you individually is a thought leader, so customers will come to you, not the reverse. So what if you could breathe life into content and that you feed to your employees and talent so that they are performing better? The way this is done right now, again, haphazardly. A few departments, sales, HR, whatever, thinking about how we should empower our people. Let's get them some content. They share some documents on the intranet, videos, Google, They take it, they share it, no organization, no plan, no strategy, nothing. Results are mixed at best. How else? Like this. You don't have to think. Exactly. Forget about these guys. There's data now. There's analytics. Start with analytics. Start with AI. And then have a plan. And then have a platform where everybody sees everything, where they get fresh content. They create and curate content properly based on strategy, topics, funnel, and they get it fresh. And they share it properly through an organized, orchestrated fashion to serve the customer's needs. By the way, we have the solution for IBM. Our customer for this solution is IBM. To that extent, this works. We have a product called Trap-It here. This is exactly what we're doing. Empowering IBM Salesforce, a few thousand people, to share content based on something, idea.